Hello, everyone. Okay, let's get adjusted here, right? All right, cool. Just cool. Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. Welcome to the stream. Today we have the final track breakdown from our brand new EP that me and Soul released together underneath the Soultronic alias called Hiatus Book 1. This is the 5th track that we are going to break down, and it's the final track out of the 7 tracks on the EP. The last 2 tracks, Freefall and I believe Quantum, we actually in real time made those tracks on stream. So if you want to go check it out, it's in my previous streams, like in the past streams. It's titled, so you should be able to find it very easily. But yeah, and then after, when we're done doing the track breakdown, I was going to continue on the track that we started yesterday, but I might do some sound design in Serum 2 a little bit first, and then if an idea strikes while I'm working on it, then I'll probably add on to the track. So excuse me, sorry. And yeah, and then try to make some sort of progression in the track. So without further ado, I already have Logic open, ready to go. So let's go ahead and just get to it. So let me get in here and let's cut to the next scene. Okay, so this is Exile. This is the final track of the EP, DMB cut. So this is the probably one time that I kind of do DMB. It's not my favorite genre because it's just too fast, to be honest with you. And I don't know how to really, I don't really know how to dance to really fast music. So I don't hate DMB, but it's not my favorite one. It's not my favorite genre. But yeah, let's just kind of kick off this. Just like we done in previous streams, we're going to take a look at the original file of Exile, and just to make sure that there's no, okay, yeah, we're going to take a look at the original file that he sent me, which is longer than the actual track. We're going to take a first listen to the original file that Soul sent me before I did any work on it, and then we're going to go into the breakdown of what all I've done to it. So and there's a few things that's, as we're looking into the project file, there's a few things that I've kind of spared in there. So, but let's take a listen to the original Exile file. All right. Let me press record. All right. So that was the original audio of Exile. So let's get into what all I did to this to get it to what it is today. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at this intro. Hmm. All right, so this track is at 180 BPM. So let's start from top to bottom. So we got these vocals here, and these are my vocals that I layered. This is the little vocal channel here. As you can see, we have two mono vocal layers, and then we have these panned left and right vocal layers to add like to kind of create some kind of chorus, which is pretty self-explanatory. What I'm actually saying in the vocals. Di victore ad exeum means I believe it's in, I don't know if it's Latin or Greek, I can't remember, but when I search it on Google, I believe it's Latin, and I think it's to conqueror, from conquerors to exile. So I wanted to add a little chant, and this was heavily inspired. To add the chant was heavily inspired by AU5 and Low Maximus track Resurrection off of AU5's Bridges Between album. They have a chant in there um, that sounded really cool. I can't remember exactly what the chant was. It's like D Mus Anima In Me Anima Exi Fernita Resurrectia or something like that. But when I heard that chant, and this was in 2023 when the album got released, when I heard the chant, I was like, that sounds pretty cool. So while I was making this track Exile, I thought to myself, you know what? It would be cool if this track had a chant. So that's what inspired me to write a chant in here. So so that's the vocals here. Then we have the Exile file here. I made a slight difference in here. Um it sounds more colorful with a little bit more melody because there's pitch map to it, and I don't know what happened in this pitch map. I think it originally may have had a pitch or something, but I can't see it. But pitch map is on here to go with the key of the drone that's below here. So, you know, very simple drone, nothing too crazy. I mean, it's like I said in previous track breakdowns, it's just a regular saw without the fundamental, detuned like hell, and has 16 unison voices, and with a filter, with sub. That's it. No effects. Like, it's very simple. Um, then we get this little guy down here, which is a sci-fi impact effect, which came from this guy. This is a serum patch. This is a patch I made in 2024. Yeah. And I wanted to create some kind of impact with like a harmonic that kind of creeps in. So all that really is just two sine waves, one being at the 0 octave, one being at +4, and then the +4 has a unison voice of 6, slightly detuned, with a phase flange 12 high low 6 plus positive direction comb filtering or phase flange filter. Um, and then we have LFO1 modulating the chorus pitch on oscillator A, Then we have LFO2 modulating the volume rocker and oscillator B. LFO3 modulating the cutoff or the frequency knob in the filter. So, and nothing in the FX. So literally just three LFOs just doing basically the movement. So this is the sound, and then I added some chroma verb at the end just to give it some more spatial kind of effects, and then nothing on the channel EQ just to observe visually. And then I stemmed it out to audio, and then I took I think I took a tail end of the sound and then added it in the beginning for like that kind of sweeping effect. And that's pretty much it. That's how that sound was made. Um and as we go further along, we have more of the Exile file. We got so we got some high pass right there. I like the acoustics, not acoustics, the percussion that was displayed in the original audio. So I wanted to add that on top of the build up here. And we are also introducing the cinematoms here. And then we have more cinematoms that's rendered out in audio, as you can see, so that because there is reverb on this original, well, there was reverb. Maybe the sampler, oh, because it's a sampler, I think the TS hanger drum kick to, I don't know. But I can't remember where the cinema sample came from, but it already has a long reverb tail in the sample, so I really wanted to accentuate on that. And with OTT, nothing too crazy. A lot of you know, compression on the, a lot of threshold on the high right there. So um and then yeah, like I rendered out an audio because if I didn't, then it would just kind of extend a little bit. So I just wanted to clean cut off right there. So that's what we have. And then we have the reverb riser that I've shown in the previous breakdowns. This is a sound that I've used since 2020. It's a sound that will probably be forever in my music, honestly, until I, you know, get tired of it. I mean, tracks that I've made recently hasn't really displayed this sound as much, but um it's a it's a good sound regardless. All right, let's get into the next section. Okay, cool. So now we're into the drop, the DMB section. Um, and man, we just released another song. If you want to check it, yeah, we can check it out at the end of the breakdown. Um, so what inspired this kind of layout here? I kind of like drew inspiration from this old game that I played. It's called Sonic Unleashed, and there's a stage. It's literally the last stage of the game called Eggman Land, and this is I believe this is yeah, it's the longest stage in the game, and there's a soundtrack that's in that game, and it had like these very stabby uh brass situation. I can't really imitate it, but it goes like dun 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 dun, and it was and that soundtrack was a DMB kind of cut too as well. So that's where this little dun 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 dun, that's where that kind of came from. So, but let's break it down. So we got full strings. These are full strings native to Logic with some OTT. I mean, nothing really crazy. And I believe it's staccato mode. If I remember correctly, I think we're in, yeah, the articulation is staccato. So, and I just hit like just every octave from the octave 1 all the way to octave 4 just to give it that very powerful sound so it can kind of punch through the mix. And then layered on top of that, we have another set of strings, but this one is also staccato, and this one is going another note. I believe this is, wait, hold on, let me see something. This is the, yeah, this is E, and then this is C, right? Yeah, E and C. So it's just those two notes. Um, just adding harmonics on top of each other. So, you know, together, this is what they sound like. Very, very big sounding strings. Then we have this brass here, full brass, native to Logic, with some chromoverb and OTT. Uh, I mean, it's just, you know, very like kind of creating some kind of melody within the drop right there. And then we have this guy right here. Let's see. So this is a VR bass uh wavetable that I made. It's like a mix. So I made this wavetable like some years ago. Um, and basically what I did is that I took samples from VR's, I want to say Heavy Bass Volume 2, and just took some bass one shots and just kind of, you know, meshed them all together. And then I then took the meshed audio and made it into a wavetable and cleaned it up. And so that's how this is a wavetable. On the effects, we got some hyper and dimension for stereo width, flanger, comb filtering, and some multi-band compression. Very simple, nothing going on. And we have the mirror warp knob on just to give it that mirrored effect or a mirror sound. So, and then on top of that, we got some kilohertz distortion. We put it on saturate. We put the drive all the way up to like +6, like crazy. Then we have OTT. And then for the channel EQ, we just cut out some of this and cut out the highs right here. But then we also added an ARP. There is an arpeggiation groove cycle 1 on 8th notes, but it's going down. So, and this is paired to this bass right here, which is the bass amp 2. So this is supposed to complement this bass right here. And it kind of goes well with the whole like DMB like aspect. But it's so in the background that you can you can hear it barely, but it, you know, you can feel the presence of it. So, and then we got this little Exile audio, which is a very hard high pass cut here, just focusing on the percussions on the high end. So and then obviously we got these DMB drums here, which really and truly, they're not real DMB drums. Like, these are my regular dubstep drums that I just kind of really shorten the hell out of the curve of the audio so it can have that really sharp oh, let me see, let me go down. Very short. So that's all that is. So, and then going towards the second part, there's a little bit of progression just in the full brass, and we added, like, this is like an octave higher, which has a little bit of velocity right here. This is like a huge jump from like a soft note to like a very hard hitting note. But in context, I mean, it sounds really cool. So yeah, in context, it really works because then that harmonic like really shines through the mix. So let's get to the next section. All right, cool. So we got a little bit of calmness here. So I introduced like this little hard rock guitar situation, with just adding some more distortion to it. So really like isolating just, you know, these frequencies right here. And then with some automation from it being filtered down and then opening back up towards like the last part of the drop there. So that's all that is. And then we got this Exile audio here, which is on the same, it's the same channel with the pitch map. So that's all that's happening with that. And then the drone bass comes in. Then we have more of the sci-fi impact, but this is like a longer sound. That's like a soft hitting impact, and then it goes more of a deeper kind of impact, which is you know, this sci-fi, it's the same one from before, except it's just a more pronounced sound. So, and then we have the vocals up here, broken up, and then it goes right back into the build-up. Everything goes back into the build-up. I'm trying to see if there's anything. I reintroduced this intro sound, but to signal the build-up instead. So, and then that happens and it leads up to the final drop. so now we're getting very much open, very more strong, high energy sounds from this drop here. So let's start at the top here. So we have the super saws. The super saws came in. So these are super saws, an old super saw that I use, and still one of my favorites too. It just has like a different kind of texture. So what the super saw is, it's actually a combination of two instruments. One is a U5 super saw, um, which if you were to ask me exactly how the super saw was made, I can't tell you in full context. You have to watch AU5's chaos modulation tutorial on how to use chaos modulation to create super saws without even using any more voices than just one voice, literally 1/16 of a voice, to create these really bright, I'm talking like really bright sounds. Let me go down. I mean, these are, let me turn off the channel EQ so you can kind of hear the fullness of it. And obviously you can like mess with the macro to like increase how much chaos modulation is happening. The more you increase it, the more white, noisy, and chaotic it sounds. Which in a nutshell, it can get to a point where it sounds very like distorted and very terrible. So be aware. Um I mean, I can kind of go through it just to see, just to show you guys like what is happening. So obviously two saw waves. Um, the fundamentals are still intact, so that's one good thing. We got a sub oscillator with this saw wave kind of sub with direct out off. We have this noise oscillator on with J106, but the volume's down, so but there's probably a reason for that. We have a macro that's modulated to oscillator A chorus pitch and oscillator B's chorus pitch using chaos modulation, chaos 1 and 2 for oscillators A and B, and then chaos wait, hold on. It's like it's in the matrix. I can show you. Yeah, chaos 1 and 2 for oscillator A and B's course pitch that is then auxed to macro 1 as a source. And then you have the noise oscillators being modulated to uh, the uh, the master tune, and then the I can't talk. Oscillator A and B's chorus pitch as well. So two chaos going to the chorus pitch, two noise oscillators going to the chorus pitch, one noise oscillator going to the master tune or the main tune now that it's recalled, and it's all being aux sourced to macro 1. Okay, and then we have notes on oh, but also let me explain this. With chaos modulation, even the noise oscillation, the amount is only at like 19% in the positive, and it's bipolar type of modulation, and the output is only at 20%. And then the noise oscillators for the chorus pitch for A and B is actually negative 19. So it's actually a uh opposite, going the opposite direction as the first two, bipolar to macro 1, and the amount is the output is all the way at 100. So then you have these note on random 1 and 2. You mess with the phase on oscillator A and the phase on oscillator B at full 100% bipolar. Then you have envelope 2 that's being modulated to the master tune just to give it a little like short pluck attack or something. Then you have envelope 3 that's being modulated to the full cutoff of, I want to say, the filter here, if I had the filter on. So that's all that's happening. That makes this super saw, but obviously Austin can fully explain all the real technicalities behind why everything works the way it does. So, but that's what's happening in this. So we have this super saw, and then we have this main synth serum patch that I made back in 2019. Which, I mean, oh, let me turn on the channel EQ again, so it doesn't sound like, if I turn off the channel EQ. I mean, this is like the old way of creating a super saw in Serum. Like when I'm assuming when people first got Serum back in like 2014, 15, 16, making super saws, this is like the only way to do it. Like have like a saw wave, detune it like hell, give it like 16 voices, and then post processing at the end. Because in Serum 1, you can't really process as much compared to Serum 2. So, but I had to work with what I have, you know what I'm saying? So we got, you know, also the A and B. One is on the negative versus this one is in the positive octave. This is like a sine saw situation, like a very low sine saw situation. I don't know what wave you would really call this. But it has a 5 voice unison, both detuned the same slightly. And then in the effects, it's just hyper in dimension. So nothing in this particularly is making anything bright or have a bright sound. This is a very dull sound, but it's really for the mid frequencies. That's why this is there. This is to really fill out the mid frequencies, while AU5's super saw fills out those highs and mid highs. So when you play them together, you get like you got a very nice super saw. So that's how that super saw is made. And then you have this is called keytar. Um this is creating like the melody, the bass melody, I should say. Um and then you have, and it's just a regular keytar, like it's 2 saw waves, which by the way, this keytar was made in 2023. And oscillator A is +1 on the octave, oscillator B is on the 0 octave, with a 7 voice unison on both. This one's more detuned than this one. The blend is more, they're the voices are more squashed together versus the blend. Or actually, I'm sorry, the voices, that's the detune. The detune is like more spread out, but the blend is like more the main voice that you hear is punching through more than the other voices, while this detune is more, squashed together. And the background, I call it like the background voices, because like if you think about the blend, think of like a singer, and you have like the background singer, and it's like placing how further the main lead singer is to the mic, and then the background singers are like a little bit away from the mic. So that's how I kind of see blend. So it's like you can tell the background singers to come more forward to the mic with the lead singer or go further back. So that's kind of how I see blend. So the voices are more, the supporting voices are more, prominent in this one. I have a weird way of thinking how I understand certain things in music versus like the technicalities. And then in the effects, we have hyper and dimension. And some multi-band compression and EQing. The slight boost in the high and mids right here. And then we have macros that is modulating something. We have two macros modulating the reverb wet and dry, but I think that the reverb is off. Yeah. But yeah. So, but because it's supposed to be a keytar, but I used it for like a bass line, so that's why I took that off, because I don't really need it. And then some quantized distortion drive all the way up, like all the way up, 17 plus dBs, OTT, and some channel EQ to carve out the highs and the lows and mid lows, and just focusing on the mids and the mid highs. So then you get this sound, and it's played at a very low note. It's played at like E0. So, which this is supposed to complement this Reese bass down here, which sounds like this. I like when using like bass lines, I like to go up in octaves just to really accentuate that like feeling of like a very powerful bass. And it just gives it a lot of movement too. The pitch bend, not gonna lie, because this song, I don't know how old this song is, but I made it last year, I believe. Yeah, last year in February. I wish I would have made a little bit more portamento pitch bends between the notes, but but hey, you live and you learn. So with this guitar, it sounds like this. And because these two goes well together, it gives it like that very powerful like top end and then a very powerful mid frequency also with the supporting sub. So it really just kind of brings out like the power in the mids and the mid lows too and the low end as well. So pair that to the super saw, I mean, it's just yeah, so I mean, you're talking about like a very powerful section. And then obviously we got percussions here, the DMB drums down here, but then we come back over here and we reintroduce the hard rock guitars that was in the midsection here that leads to build up, and we brought it back for the second half, the B side, but this time we made it more powerful. See, this one is like a very low, like on the volume rocker, it's at -13, but right here it's at the 0 mark. So now it's louder. It's gonna punch through the mix a little bit more. I don't know if I made any adjustments in the distortion settings. I don't think I did. They all look the same, but you can clearly hear it. But I wanted to like really focus still on these frequencies by itself because we got so much frequencies being covered with the super saw, and then on top of that you have this guitar and then the bass, so it pretty much covers everything. I mean, you saw on the spectrogram that all of those frequencies are pretty much, you know, taking up all the room. So just to carve a little bit of space, I added this guy here just to give some kind of melody. So and then the drone bass is automation that goes from like the -7 all the way down to silence. Then, like I said before, this last part of the Exile audio is still on the same pitch map channel. And then obviously I added these impacts for dramatic effect. To be honest with you, I like when intros I'm sorry, not intros. I like when outros have like a very like impactful kind of mysterious, like leaving you wandering in this ether. So that's kind of like what I did with this. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all of Exile. That's the full track breakdown for Exile. So, all right. Now let's go to the song that we were working on yesterday. Close and don't save because I don't want to mess anything up on this one. Oh, and we got a song to react to by the Little Timmies. This is a I guess a group, you can say, because they just kind of do everything. Um, a group of people that creates like chill hip hop, from what they told me. So we listened to two singles from them. One of them was Manifest. I remember that one because I liked that one. I can't remember what the other one was called, but apparently they're working on an album. So, and I believe they just released another song from like this past Friday, because they did say last week that they had a song coming out Friday, but I don't think I streamed Friday. So I didn't stream Friday. So I missed reacting to it. But we're gonna listen to this first, and then we're gonna go on YouTube and react to it, and share our thoughts on whatever it is that we're gonna listen to. So this is the song we started yesterday. Let's give ourselves a little reminder of what this is. Cool. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I don't really have any new ideas to progress with this. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just mess around in Serum 2 and just make a bunch of sounds. And then if I make a sound that like sounds really cool, then I might just try to make a drop based off of what this is. So, but without further ado, let me go over to Safari and um let's react to the little Timmys. Apparently, well, that's not what I wanted, but okay. Let's see. The little Timmys. Let's go on the channel. Okay, when I'm back, this was uploaded 3 days ago, so it was last Friday. Oh, Checkmate. That was the other single. It was called Checkmate. Yeah, but I like Manifest a lot. So, all right. So we're back with Little Timmy's. From what I understand, that this group, this man, whoever it is, I don't know who's in control of the whole entire group, but this group branded themselves to have like a very like high pitch kind of unique character of a voice. So let's take a gander at this. We have a 3:01, 3 minute 1 second. When I'm back, let's take a look.
Had to lose myself just to find my way. Felt the rain pour heavy, but I'm here today. Took a fall, they thought I'd never rise again, but now I'm back, stronger than I ever been. When I'm back, they gon' feel my name. Came from the bottom, had to fight through pain. Lost it all, had to build again. Now I stand tall, I don't break, don't bend. When I'm back, whole vibe different. Scars on my soul, but I'm still winning. For myself, I ain't never finished. Now they watch, yeah, the world listen. Ay. It started with a dream, turned to sleepless nights. Pressure on my back, I was losing fights. And my people count me out, had to prove them wrong. Lost my way, lost my hope, but I found my song. I was down bad, bills piled to the ceiling. Couldn't call for help, cause they love when you're milling. Fake friends vanished when my pockets got low. Had to dig deep, had to find my own glow. Yeah, they laugh when I fell, said I never stand. Now they watch in the crowd when I raise my hands. Tables turn, now I write my fate. Took the long road back, now on my lane. When I'm back, they gon' feel my name. Came from the bottom, had to fight through pain. Lost it all, had to build again. Now I stand tall, I don't break, don't bend. When I'm back, whole vibe different. Scars on my soul, but I'm still winning. Told myself I ain't never finished. Now they watch, yeah, the world listen. Hey, I was staring at the mirror, didn't know that man. Dark thoughts in my head, had to change my plan. Lost faith, lost drive, almost lost my soul. But my past ain't a prison, it just made me whole. Had to cut off down, had to hear my mind. Had to learn that the fall was part of the climb. Every scar, every loss, every sleepless night made a warrior. Now I see the light. I ain't tryna flex, I just speak my truth. Cause there's kids in the dark try to find their proof. Let them know that the pain don't last. You can fall 10 times, but you still bounce back. Now I stand in the fire, let it fuel my drive. Let it burn through the fear, let it spark my pride. Every tear that I shed was a lesson learned. Now I walk through the storm and I don't get burned, yeah. When I'm back, they gon' feel my soul. Took my pain, turned it into gold. Lost my way, but I found my track. Now I rise, ain't no falling back.
Okay, cool. Uh, all right, cool. That was it was a cool track. Um, like the my only gripe about it is, and I have two things actually, but the main gripe I have about it is I know that the whole high pitched voice thing is a part of your brand, so I'm not even gonna speak on that because I get it. I get it. It's a creative choice, but my only gripe is the vocal mix. It's just it still needs some work. Like the vocal mix, there's so much acoustics happening. Like I can hear the acoustics in the recording because it just sounds to me it like all right. I have this thing where when I listen to music, especially for the vocal performance, this thing is I shouldn't have to listen to music and my first thought is have is the voice feels like it sound what am I trying to say? Basically, I don't want to listen to music and have the first thought that this sounds recorded on a mic. And that sounds weird to say because that's obviously what's going on, right? Because how else are you going to record? It just doesn't have that crisp, very, you know, well-rounded sound in my opinion. Um when I listen to music, especially if somebody is either rapping or singing, I want it to feel like that the vocal production is like very solid, very because right now what's happening in the vocal production is that it's very acousticy in the background. And I can hear like with the auto tune, there's like a lot of phasing happening too as well. So that's that's really the main thing. Now, interestingly enough, towards the end of the song there, it sounded like the vocal production did get a little bit better. I don't know what you did, but maybe it's because this is the progression of the track when it kind of changes into a different chord progression. That you probably decided to change the vocals a little bit, or not the vocals, but like the mix production of it as well. So I did like that it got a little bit better towards the end, which is probably the highlight of the track in my opinion. Um, so that's the first gripe. It's just the vocal production mix. Is just it still needs some work. So And I know that you said in a previous stream that that's something that you struggled with and something that you're currently working on. So, but like I said, man, there are ways to kind of go around that. Even if you don't have a well treated room, you can still go around getting like a really nice, solid vocal mix, or at least a decent recording. Because I think it's just down to how you record. The mix production is probably not the issue. It's just, the raw recording itself. Like if like again, if your room isn't treated or stuff like that, then it could cause a lot of acoustics. But there are ways to kind of get around that. Like for instance, I have a mic that's a I think my mic is a dynamic mic, and it already has like a built-in like noise reduction in the background, so it doesn't sound too noisy. Not a lot of noise comes through when I record. And in terms of echoes and acoustics, um a pop filter helps. If you got one of those filter shields, though, that helps as well. Um, you can honestly get like these, like I can even show you. Like I have like these little wall panel things. They're not thick, they're very thin. Um, but they're like I got those, honestly, I got those off of Temu for like, I don't even know how much it was, but it was cheap. And there's like this really sticky adhesive on the back, so literally when you take it out, you can just peel off the paper that will expose the adhesive, and just slap it on the wall. That's what I did. You ain't got to get no tape, no glue, no nothing. And it's pretty strong. Like these has been on the wall, and there's no peeling or anything. So they're pretty good for very cheap. So, and that can help with the noise reduction and acoustics in your room as well. Very cheap. So I'm pretty sure you can find something similar like that to Amazon, so you're not like spending a whole lot of money on whatever. But if for some reason you already have wall panels and stuff like that, and your vocals are still ending up like this, then there's something going on in the mix. um so yeah, the vocal production definitely needs work. My second gripe, it's not a gripe, it's just a preference thing, especially when I'm listening to hip hop music, regardless if it's chill or not. Um, the music production itself sounds really good. I wish there was like some moments that the instruments were a little bit stripped back. I like this is a preference thing. This is not something that you have to do, but this is just what I prefer. Um, there are sections where instruments are stripped back, so you can really like give your verse, like maybe there's like an important verse that you're spitting, and you really want that to kind of shine through before you bring everything back in. So that would be nice if you kind of had like a section, if you're stripping back instruments a little bit, just to literally play around with the emotion of the track. Because stripping instrumentations back also give a sense of like, hey, this is something important I've got to tell you, so listen closely. So it's giving like the listener, oh, this is an important section, like let's dial in, so you're kind of like controlling the listener's experience by doing that. So that's always welcomed in any track that you do. um Last but not least, this is also just a preference thing, but lyrically wise, there's just nothing, in my opinion, about this track that is memorable to me. um the the chorus is nice, but in terms of the verse, there's not really any lyric that stuck out to me that's memorable, because I really can't remember a single lyric. And I think it's because that the whole song itself, it seems like, I think the aim, I don't know what your aim or what the message is behind the entire album, but it seems like it's more of a motivational, inspirational kind of rap album, based off of like Manifest, because you're talking about, times when you were down and stuff like that, but there wasn't any like anything specific like from a personal level. It just seems like this track is just it just feels like a long track of just motivational quotes all put together. And I'm not saying like there's any quotes in the track, but I'm saying like it doesn't sound to me that you're really saying anything. It just sounds like, you know, in my opinion, like a generic kind of lyrics to put that speaks about never giving up, and when you're down, you should pick yourself up. Generic kind of lyrics, and it just feels like that through the entire track. Like, I would love to hear like more of like personal stuff, personal things. If you really want to dig deep into um engaging into the listeners and really like have people like really relate to your music or relate to you or relate to anything in experience wise, like really kind of hone in on that, because relatability is everything nowadays, and everybody wants to relate to things, and everybody wants to hear somebody else go through the same thing that they're going through, so they don't feel like they're not alone in the situation. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's not really anything about this track that's like memorable to me. Nothing, not a lyric really stands out to me. um and which to me it's kind of like it's okay, but it's not enough for me to really like the track per se. um in terms of like me playlisting it or have replayability. So that's just my opinion. Other people will have other opinions about it, which is fine. But this is just my humble opinion. Other than that, this track this track is pretty solid. Like I said, vocal production, vocal mix has to be worked on. Play around with the instrumentation, with the production, the music production itself. Do some kind of, some more stripped back instruments, and whatever it is, like introduce new sounds too as the song progresses too, just to give it more oomph, or just giving the track some more evolution to it. And then third thing, like from a lyrical standpoint, I'm not a rapper and I'm not a hip hop head to no means. So take my advice on this part very lightly. Um, but me, because I'm not a hip hop listener, not really. I mean, I listen to hip hop music, and there are specific artists that I listen to because I'm a lyricist kind of listener. I love lyricism and I love storytelling. So, versus the whole trendy club hip hop trap music and stuff like that, which those are cool too, but it's like that's not my speed. I like more the hip hop, that tells a story, that's lyrically inclined, use a lot of wordplay. That's kind of like my thing. I'm talking like people like Eminem. I'm talking like Lil Wayne. I'm talking what's his name, T Grizzly. I'm talking about Joyner Lucas, J Cole. Those guys. So that's kind of like the speed of hip hop that I'm on. But anyway, from a lyrical standpoint, I just feel like that a lot. Once again, to reiterate, you're. It sounds to me that you're not really saying anything. So, in my opinion, like there's nothing that points out, and I was trying to listen to every word in the song, and I just don't find anything in the song that's relatable. There's nothing. It just sounds like a very more inspirational, more motivational type of hip hop, which is completely fine in that direction. But there's nothing like, there's not like a specific moment like in your life that I can like grasp on to be like, oh, this really happened. Oh man, I can't believe this person went through this, or oh, So yeah, so that's the third thing. It's just the lyrics. There just needs to be more personal, more like personal towards you or your group or whatever it is, so you can really like engage with people and really like have that relatability. So that's it. Other than that, cool track, really cool track. um but let's get back to Logic here. There was a, hold on, i saw I saw a, there it is. While this thing is recovering, I don't know what plugin is causing this message to pop up every 30 minutes or every hour, or I don't know how long. But yeah, let's uh let's go into Serum 2. you guys are probably like, damn, this man's on Serum 2 every stream. Like, aren't you tired of it by now? No. No, I'm not tired of it. There's still so many hidden features about Serum 2 that I still like. I'm watching other YouTubers kind of like, you know, talk about the hidden features and whatnot. But yeah, for sure I'm not tired of Serum 2. Not yet. Probably when I'm done with making this preset pack, I'll probably be tired of it in terms of tired of just making a bunch of presets. Um but oh, let me go down. Yep. Okay. Maybe I can start to create a drop based off of this. I thought of one idea. Like bum 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 dun 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 something like that. Something like that. We'll feel it out and see if we can do something with it. Very fast too. And hurry up. Let's get one of our, let's see if we can use one of our rhythm. Whew. Let's see. Let me try a different one. Dun, yeah, this one. I like this one. Dun, 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 dun. Bam, 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 bam. Okay. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah. And then bring you over. Oh. Do this right here. Bring you over again, but this time. Cool. And let's bring in these. All right. Okay, it makes no difference. What if I change it to a clap instead? That's a terrible clap. That's a terrible clap. Like, terrible. Let's see. Clap. Let's try that one. I was like, where's the transient on this? Let's oops. Let's try. Let's delete that. Let's see. This is nice. It just wish I had more transient. But let's try a different. But I could. Ooh, wait, maybe combine. Maybe. Let's try that. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this. How's like a little transient at the top right there? Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, that sounds good. Let me make this brighter. Oh, it needs some more white noise. There we go. And let's put this down. Let's change it up. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Load. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just keep rolling. Really roughly. That's kind of cool. I kind of want to add the this song, but it may not. I may not make it that strong. Yeah, like something like just a little bit on the top. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's see if that makes a difference. Yeah, that just sounds good. Thanks for your feedback. It was more of just hype up track for the album. We will make more connecting and better lyrically crafted tracks in the future. Hey man, just I can't wait for the album to come out so I can hear it all in full. So appreciate it though. Good job on the track. All right, this snare is sounding good. So it went from. So how do I connect these two now? Make it like but then like take this and make it we can actually take the sub out for this one. Maybe a little bit too much reverb. I don't really know how to go about with the build up. Another, I think I'm gonna do like a double drop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and bring this over like this. Wait, let's kind of do this instead. And we can bounce that to audio just for, you know. Something. Slow down. And change the bass to something else, like a stab or something. I like doing stabs. It's always fun. Where are my stabs at? Oh, there they go. What the hell? Where'd my... I'm trying to think of. And we're gonna switch to rhythm drums. Where you at? There you is. Let's see. You can add something to this. Like a wavetable, something. I don't know what I did. Oh, it's the bow. Turn the random all the way down, and let's just remove any fundamental and normalize. Oh, let me make it unison. I'm still missing some mids though. Why? Guess I can turn this one on, but then take out the fundamentals. Oh, but what I could do is I can direct out. Yeah, I could just do that, direct out, and just get some distortion here. There we go. That sounds like... Flubber duckies. Flubber duckies. Alright. Okay, and then let's separate that. So we have to boom, 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 boom. All right, let's see what kind of patterns I want. Do I want that though? That sounds boring though. That sounds boring. Let me actually save that though, because that's a sound. That's a cool sound. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds boring though. You know. But let me see. Let me try something else. Let me try these bass generators. Maybe try that one. That might be something. Boom 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 boom. Like that. Yeah, maybe. And I can layer something on top of this. Like, what can I layer on top of this? Let's get one of them oil bases. I was thinking I might do something with that. It's too hectic. I could turn off the I could bypass this. I don't know. Let's bypass this too. Is there another one? Let's bypass this too. Or not. Let's keep that on. No. No, no, no. Spectre Razor? I like that though. Well, let's see. No, that kind of takes away the... There's a harmonic that I want to really... Okay. A little soft clip action. I like that. That sounds cool. It's different. It's different, people. Try. Literally go up like 3 octaves. Let me go up 3 octaves. There's a little ring I don't need. That the hum that can get rid of. We can get rid of that. For A, B, and C is for the sawaso. Is there like reverb? Yeah. It doesn't really need reverb because it's in the background. I would probably give it some stereo ensemble. Where's my mouse? My mouse just disappeared on me. Hello? Damn. So let's hear that in context. Oh, Lord. To the highs, I can add a reverb to really like kind of get in there, you know? Yeah, you can really hear that ring out a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? It sounds a little muddy, like, but... I can do like a little pre something right here. Like a little... This is like. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need to. Okay, cool. Uh, we'll figure out a way to stitch all this together because right now it's just kind of all over the place. But really cool sounds from the sample pack that I'm working on. The sample pack, preset pack, Serum 2 preset pack that I'm working on. So I'm very happy that these basses are really working. So took a few tries, but at least I didn't have to make a sound from scratch. So that's the best thing. And that everything is pretty much processed through Serum without very much processing. Like if you guys remember from earlier streams that I had like a long processing chain, but now that chain has now is embedded in Serum 2. Not to say that the processing in Serum 2 will replace the processing, the third party plugins, you know, here, but for some reason my body just want to do shit. Anyway, I was saying like just because I have a lot of processing in the Serum 2, that doesn't replace the third party plugins as well. Because there's still certain things that Serum 2 doesn't have that I need third party plugins for, like Soothe. I would say Saturation, but we have this whatever. But Soothe is one, and then OTT, but it's already a built-in OTT anyway. But for some reason, I feel like the OTT standalone versus the one in Serum just has kind of a different processing. I don't know how to really explain it because there's no multi-band option in OTT, so I guess like the standalone plugin. So I don't know, maybe. But we'll work on this some more tomorrow. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it up tonight. This is a really cool song that is coming together. I did say that I was going to relax on the heavier stuff and just make some chill music, but I just felt inspired out of nowhere. I've been listening to some heavier stuff lately, and that just kind of made me want to make some heavy stuff. And regardless, so but I am gonna get back on my chill tracks soon. I don't know when exactly, but yeah, tomorrow we're gonna figure out a way how to glue those drops together, and then once we figure that out, then the rest of the song will write itself initially, while still keeping the cohesiveness of the drops. And then I think the drops could use a little bit more stuff going on, not bass wise, but just like textural things in the background to make it a little bit more fuller, make it more alive. It sounds good how it is now, and you could leave it the way it is, but I want to add like some kind of choir stuff in the background too. So yeah, there's still some things to do for this drop, but regardless, we'll work on more of that tomorrow. But as of that, this is the final, this was the final breakdown for our brand new songs from the Hiatus Book 1 EP that me and Soul made together. So Exile was the last final breakdown track. As like I said before, Quantum and Freefall was made on stream, so you can actually see exactly how we put those two tracks together. It would be nice if like, you know, Soul's a very busy person, so it'd be cool to see like his side on how he made the track breakdowns for the ones that we've covered on his end, how he got together and created those audios. But you know, maybe in the future that could be a thing. But anyway, tomorrow we're going to work on more on this track. If I have like a reaction, if I find like a reaction to react to tomorrow, then I will let you guys know in the title. But with that being said, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and go to Soultronic on any music streaming platform and stream our brand new EP, our debut EP, Hiatus Book 1. It's a 7-track EP. You have a few variations of different genres, but all together it's a dance project. You have techno, you have dance, you have house, you have like a micro drop dubstep track, you have DMB, you know, just to name a few. So yeah, go check it out. I will leave the link in the description below. And I have more musical projects that I need to like actually get ready and prepare for. So I've been busy with doing other creative projects on the side that's not music related. I mean, it is music related, but it's more artwork related. So once I get that out the way, then I can go back to getting all my stuff from my solo project, the Danatronic project, and start dishing out music, because I haven't dished out any singles for my solo projects yet. So I really want to get back to doing that. We're already close to half the year and I haven't released a single. Released a single yet. So I need to get back on that. But like I said, that's more to come. But anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for joining me on stream. If you guys learned anything new, please do let me know in the comment section below. Also like, share, subscribe to the channel for more live streams to come. I do want to eventually make more YouTube videos too, for like tutorial purposes or any kind of neat tricks that I've learned, whether it's in Serum 2 or in Serum 1 or in Faceplant or Vital, whatever the case may be, or just create some kind of weird music techniques that, you know, requires a whole lot of things going on. But anyway, I do want to drop a YouTube video at one point in time. With that being said, me dropping a YouTube video might hinder on what days I do stream, because I do have to film and then edit. So but needless to say, if I am not streaming, then I will have something in return, like I said, a YouTube video to take its place on that day. So I do want to get back to that and further promote this channel and promote this platform to get more people coming in. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow, but I should be, unless something pops up. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.